Welcome back to the Michigan Business Beat, brought to you on the Michigan Business Network, and you are watching us in our studios in downtown Lansing. However, our first guest here, Mike Maddox, President, CEO, and EOS visionary for ASK, also host, I might say, of Bottom Line IT right here on the Michigan Business Network. Mike Maddox joins us, and Mike, it's always good to have you on. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing great, Chris. Thanks for having me on. How are you doing?
Well, I hate to point out the obvious, but I don't remember that being what your office looks like.
Yeah, this is ASK North.
There you go.
So this is my cottage in northern part of Michigan. So that's where
Well,
I'm hiding out.
I think you guys actually that is a good kind of overture into some of the things we're going to talk about, and that is what the COVID and how you guys have dealt with that, and how well you guys have dealt with that. Quite frankly, we weren't interrupted here much at all, and I know, if you're in other industries, you have been, but you've done a marvelous job there of you guys working remote and keeping things rolling.
Yeah, it was it was a fascinating journey. I mean, like everybody else in this time last year in 2020, March of 2020, we sent everybody home and went full remote for safety reasons and because of the pandemic. And we were able to do that fairly seamlessly. And over the course of last year and the beginning of this year, we've not found any real reduction in productivity. There are concerns I have about people being isolated. And what our staff is telling us is that, for the most part, they want to be back to being around people, but maybe not full time. So I think, going forward, we're going to look at some kind of hybrid model. And I know a lot of companies are talking about, what does that mean? Is that 3 days a week in the office and 2 days at home? Or how do you accomplish that? And how do you set up your office for that? We haven't really figured that out yet, but I know for now, at least, and throughout all of last year, we were able to seamlessly move to a home environment and people remain productive and happy. Now, we did a lot of things to keep people engaged. We did a lot of virtual events and virtual everything from virtual family feud competitions to virtual happy hours to all kinds of different things to just get people together, at least electronically.
Yeah. It's interesting you would pick Family Feud in this time of play string. Let me get to another topic though here, and that because we've had this discussion before, and I know when you put in EOS, this kind of rose to a higher point of importance, and that is kind of vetting your partners, your customers, and how to find those ideal customers. And trust me, they're not just people with money who can buy your service. There's a way to find them. How have you gone through that process, and how can business owners kind of identify ideal clients?
Well, for listeners that are familiar with EOS, the Entrepreneurial Operating System, they'll know that the foundation of it starts with identifying your core values as a business. What is it that you deeply believe in, and why do you do what you do? So Simon Sinek writes about the power of why. It's not what do you do, but why do you do it? What do you really care about at a deep level? And when you get that established and you understand that, you start to look at the people, not only your customers, but your employees. Who is on your team, and do they share that same set of values? And then by extrapolation, you also have to look at your clients and start to make that evaluation. And what happened to us in that transformation was, we realized that we had customers that did not share the same set of values, that didn't look at the world the way we looked at it. And we had to make some hard decisions to have some hard conversations and be open and honest about that with customers to say, we look at things this way. And we believe, for example, that technology is a critical business driver, that it can drive your business forward, propel productivity, propel profit. And it plays a vital role, and you may not look at it that way, and that's okay. It's just we're out of alignment, and maybe we should part ways. And for some clients, that did happen. For others, the response was, well, we are out of alignment, but we'd like to be in alignment. We like your vision, and so let's talk about how we get there. But that's counterintuitive. As an entrepreneur, building this business over the last 17 years. Early on, it was the model of, hey, I want to sell to anybody willing to buy, right? That's what entrepreneurs do. But it was transformational, and it had definite benefits.
So, so listen, risks. What are the risks of having clients who don't kind of match up core values?
Well, it's what you don't realize is even though they're clients that may be willing to pay, may be profitable, uh, the core value mismatch takes an enormous toll on your staff. I mean, they see it, they know it. The frustration level is often hidden, and there's a cost associated with that. Not to mention, your staff knows if you propose these core values, and we stand by these values, and yet you're serving clients that don't meet those standards, that's hypocritical, and they know that. You got to walk the walk. So there's a definite return on the investment of making those decisions, and not to mention that you often find that a client with a core value mismatch is really taking a lot more of your time and energy than you realize.
Mike, we're about halfway through what I wanted to ask you. So I'm going to ask you if you could do a second segment.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because we've got to get into the power of the positives of this thing and how we go through it. So Mike Maddox from ASK, we're going to have you right back on in just a few minutes. Hang there, right at your ASK North headquarters. We'll be right back on the Michigan Business Beat. I'm Chris Holman.
Sanair has been advancing communities and providing opportunities for people in Michigan for more than 25 years. Through lending, investments, and the creation of homes and jobs, Sanair has made a combined $7 billion impact on the communities they serve. Learn more at www.sanair.com.
Welcome back to the Michigan Business Beat, brought to you on the Michigan Business Network. Chris Holman here in our downtown studios, and we're continuing our prior guest, Mike Maddox. He's president, CEO, and EOS visionary for ASK in Lansing, but he's in the northern branch, I guess, today. Mike, we did start getting through how to vet customers and the importance of having the right customers. I guess probably it's appropriate to call them partners at this point in time, which is what we call the people who underwrite our shows here.
Yeah.
Because you're going down the same path and trying to enhance one another for the most part. We talked about some of the risks of having the wrong partners. Let's talk now about immediate and long-term benefits that a business experiences having the right ideal clients.
Yeah, I mean, that's a really good point, Chris. And when we made the commitment that we were going to do business with we were going to work with people we love, doing what we love, and we were going to partner with companies that we love working with people that we love, that share our view of the world and our view of technology. I said it was transformational. One of the ways that comes to mind for me is with new prospective customers. The first step in every new prospective customer journey is a discussion of core value match. And if it's me talking to them, I often lay out, this is who we are. This is how we operate. This is how we do business. This is our proven process. And we've been doing this for 30 years. But we do it a certain way. And we have certain beliefs around technology. And if that's not you, that's okay as a company. But we should decide that now, because we're not going to be a good partner. We're not going to partner well together. We might be a good vendor customer, but that's not what we want. We don't want to be a vendor customer relationship. We want a partnership. And the positive side is, instead of turning people away, what I found is that the good companies, the companies that fit our model, it's almost like a reaction of, I've been waiting for someone to have the guts to come to me and say that they're willing to walk away if we don't match. And this is what I need. And so, if anything, it's been an enhancement to our business, which it was kind of, again, counterintuitive, but it certainly was the case for us.
Well, I think if you're working with family, it's a whole lot different than working with someone who says, yeah, well, you have to do what I say because I send you money.
Yeah.
Those are really different things. So there comes this point when you're doing your vetting process, and maybe they are too, who knows? How does having standards and criteria for new clients empower your team?
Yeah, I mean, it empowers the internal team by, like I said before, if you don't walk the walk and you don't hold to what you claim to be core values with your clients, is really hard to hold to that internally. And the team knows when there's something out of alignment, and there's kind of a internal radar that goes off now for everybody on our team, whether it be our account management or our support desk team or project team, and they're able to identify it quickly and address it. And often, it comes down to just a miscommunication or something that needs to be addressed, a root issue that, would have gotten ignored if we were not so maniacally focused on this concept of what we call core values, or just the way we look at the world. And it's important at the front end just to stress that it's about being open and honest and saying, here's who we are. This is how we do things. And this is what we believe in. This is what we're going to commit to you in a partnership. But also, this is what we're going to ask that you commit to us. And, that often in many sales cycles that part gets left out. We're going to ask you for commitments, and this is what you're going to commit to. And if you're not comfortable with that, again, this isn't a value statement. It's just, that's fine. We just look at the world differently.
It's interesting stuff. It really is. Now, how does saying no to the wrong client, how does that impact business? Because you do have things like revenue and staff and some of those important things.
Yeah. It's one of the folks that works for us said to me that what that does, saying no to the wrong client, is allows us the resources and the time to serve the right clients, some of whom we haven't even met yet. Because often onboarding the wrong clients sucks up all your resources and your time, and you don't have capacity to even go find that right fit who might be out there. And it creates a drain on the organization. So the overall energy level of the company goes way up when you're committed to this kind of a concept. And it sounds very flowery, very, counterintuitive, but my experience is that it works, and it's worked internally, and it's worked with clients, and couldn't have been a better change for us.
Well, it certainly has worked the way you guys have grown, and it continues to work. And I guess your statement, to go back to where a lot of this came from, would be pretty positive about the EOS system.
Yeah, we're big believers. EOS was probably the best decision we made as a company from a process organizational structure standpoint in the 30 years we've been in business. And I'm a big believer in it. I talk to a lot of our customers about it, and I couldn't recommend it, more highly.
Excellent stuff. Well, Mike Maddox, President, CEO, and EOS visionary for ASK in Lansing, also host of Bottom Line IT. So if you want to get into deeper aspects of the things we've been talking about, that's a good place to go. Bottom Line IT. Mike, thanks so much. I appreciate it. And I have to say, you have become a very valuable partner for us here at the Michigan Business Network.
Oh, it's been mutual, Chris. Thank you very much.
All right, buddy. Take care. Mike Maddox. We're going to be right back on the Michigan Business Beat on the Michigan Business Network. I'm Chris Holman.